I'm here in Ottawa. My name is Haku, Ming, King Tonga, King Haku, whatever you call me. Just make sure you watch this, the Hannibal TV, that I'm proud of, and be part of it, to be here and talk to you all. Come on down and let's see it, or help out by coming and watch this Hannibal TV. I better watch it. I may be talking nice to you, but I can come right into your living room and pull you out. Hear me? That's right. You better be shaky.
Hi, Haku.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, good.
Good.
Yeah.
This is Laura for Hannibal TV, and I'm here today with someone very special, Haku. Did you have a good flight?
Oh, it was good.
It was good?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, it was very good.
Do you find it too cold?
Oh my goodness. It's been a while, but I don't know what's going on with the world. You know, I'm from Florida,
yeah.
And it's cold in Florida too. When it goes down to 55 or 40s, that's too cold for us in Florida.
I've seen people with winter jacket in Florida.
Yes.
You want to go through the questions, so we're going to get started.
Mm-hmm.
You were WWE Tag Team Champion with Andre the Giant.
Right.
How was that, being a tag team partner with such a legend?
It was an honor, for me to be his partner, and Andre, as you all know, just like you said, was a legend and still is today, with his name all over the world. Everybody knows, especially in wrestling, or with the movies and stuff like that. Yeah, it was great, and it was a great experience.
Did you travel with him?
Yes.
Was it tight in the car?
No, because, the WWF then, always provide, a big van for him, or, so. But in the airplane, yes, it was tight in the airplane, of course with the first class, but still, he's a big man, it's comfort there. Or, some of the airline don't have first class, so they have to have the whole row.
Row.
The whole row for him, three, so, with me, I'm just sitting right beside him, or sit behind him, or, yeah.
What was his appetite like? Was he seriously a big eater, or have you noticed anything, any stories of a big meal that was like extremely impressive?
Well, with him, he likes, at the time we were tagging up, he likes to eat and he likes to drink, so, I don't know if I should say it was European style anyway.
Yeah.
Like your wine, like your, and of course after the meal, he always said, Tonga, we had to have the French connection, the French connection. He had that two liquor that, mixed together, and we drink that after meal. But yes, not that, like everybody see how much he drink or eat, but he was eating every day, and, of course, he eats.
He eats a lot.
Yeah.
And drink a lot.
And drink a lot.
You were very popular in the Montreal wrestling territories in your younger days and held the Canadian Championship.
Yes.
Could you share some of your favorite memories of working in this area?
Experience, and I thank you for asking that question, because in this business, somebody like me, and I know there are a few, that we came from different countries. And of course with the languages, English, of course French, whatever it is may be. I remember coming in here from Puerto Rico. We had 2 or 3 guys over in French Martin and
I met French Martin.
Lafayette, that he passed also.
Yes.
Yeah, and then there was a tag team
Rougeau?
No, not the Rougeaus. One from Puerto Rico and one from Quebec. I can't bring the name, but you know, they were there at the time that I was. So when they left Puerto Rico, and I guess I made a good expression in them, they called back that they were looking for a heel. Yeah, so, okay, you know. But it was the time right there, so they brought me in to go back. And but before I left, everybody's talking about the language. Oh, you won't like it there because, you know, they speak French, you know, they'll snub you because they don't like the, ugly Americans and all that stuff, you know, all this story like that, here I am, I'm trying to learn how to speak English, and I'm in a Hispanic country, I'm trying to learn at least a little Spanish, right? And I'm coming over. So I said to myself, well, must be somebody speak, English there, I'm sure. But in the same time, hey, I can always learn how to speak French. That my favorite is that, yeah, Dawson Tyler. I said, Dawson, whatever I can say, tell the fans is a bad guy, He said, Haku, or Tonga, or whatever at the time, But yeah, and that was something, anybody shouldn't be afraid because of the language, because that's a lovely thing to learn, the cultures, of course, they're doing. I love it there.
Good.
Yeah, I love it there.
You feuded with Dino Bravo during during that same times. Any thoughts on his murder and how it was allegedly committed by a mob hit?
I have no idea. The Rougeau told me later on. But the time I was there with him, you hear all kind of stories about his uncle was, with the mob and all this stuff, we didn't know anything, never meet anybody, that's like that. But, of course, you're working with a bunch of, Italian, Canadian, you know what I'm saying? So, we had a great time. They were always good to us, especially me with my stupid things, fighting in the bars. Now I know, that's why they didn't throw me in jail, right? But yeah, with Dino, I had a great time. And like I said earlier, with all this negative about coming to Montreal, even at those days, I told my wife, let's live here. I like it.
You liked it?
Yeah. But she said, no, we have to move back. The time they have all those airplanes that they were, kidnaps and all that stuff, So, she was kind of afraid that, So, we moved back. And, of course, WWF perfectly come in and took over. So we moved back to the States after that.
Do you have any memories of wrestling Bruiser Brody in Japan?
Yeah.
How was that?
Bruiser Brody is one of the top heels respect by the Japanese. And you're talking about, with Stan Hansen, you're talking about Tiger Jitsing, all those foreigners that went in there, with Giant Baba and Inoki, of course, both sides there, and Abdullah the Butcher, these guys there, the original Sheik, so these guys were unbelievable. I was just coming in when these guys were there, and I saw the matches and stuff like that. But Bruiser Brody, I didn't know them from America. I was still young then, and I saw what they were doing and everything. Wow, to me, they were, but in the same time, how they run over the fans and everything, Japanese.
Different culture.
It was an honor for them to run all these guys and to kick the chair, hit you and everything. You know what I'm saying? And that's the different cultures in the world. Japanese are honorly people, so if they hit you and you take a bump and say, oh, did you see that? He hit me, you know. Bruce Brody hit me. But yes, Bruce Brody was, you know, one of those guys there that draw, you know, like all these guys that I named them, you know, it was unbelievable.
Any thought on his passing away?
Of course, I'm sure we all hear the same thing, you know, that he was passed from, you know, got killed in Puerto Rico and all that stuff like that. And, you know, we will never know the real story of it. You know, you hear a story, and I'm one of those guys that I don't want to tell a story that I wasn't there. But this is what I hear, you know, that he was you know, and he was proud to tell me that his wife from New Zealand, because, you know, I'm from that side of the world, you know. And my goodness, after he died, it was like 15 years later, or maybe more, that I'm finally met the wife over at CAC, you know, Cauliflower Alley club there in Las Vegas.
Was she looking to get some kind of, not a revenge, but some kind of justice? Or she was in peace with the way things happened?
Well,
the wife? When you met her?
When I met her, yeah. No, she was, all I did the first time, I met her and said, look, my name is Tonga, and finally got to meet you. I'm not trying to take away from everybody here, but I wanted to let you know that your husband was so proud to tell me that you're from, you know, New Zealand, just because I'm from that, you know, New Zealand and South Pacific. And she was, nice to meet you. And that was it.
That was it.
Yeah.
You wrestled in Puerto Rico during these years, like in the 80s. How was that for you? Did you enjoy it?
Yes.
Good crowds?
Yes. And what we hear now, again, that we talk about cultures, you know, and also the people, the craziness of the hot sun. You know, it's just like you all here, you know, you're a little different because I guess the snow is too cold for you guys here. The way your culture here is different from the hot weather there, you know. They're a little crazier in that way, you know. Yeah, it was, Puerto Rico was, you know, they believe, you know, they support their wrestlers from the island, yeah. And, you know, me, just happened that I looked like them, but I didn't speak the language, you know, with the afro and, you know, the way I was looking and everything, you know. And they hate me, but in the same time, either love me or respect me. I think they respect me.
They love to hate you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. They love to hate me. That's what, and that was the thing with Puerto Rico. And that was my first break, also to work on top, you know. Again, they were looking for a heel. Dusty Rhodes was the one who sent me over there with Carlos Colon, and, you know, and I guess, okay, let's push him and see what can we, you know. But, you know, of course, again, I keep coming to what your first question, because it's very important to me, you know, about the language. You know, they didn't want to turn me to be a good guy because I can't speak Spanish. Yeah. But they don't realize, you know, hey, if they love you, if they respect you, this guy is gonna get over, no matter where he's from. If he works hard, you know, that they like the way I work and my style, they'll love me. And that's what happened. You know, once they turned me from bad guy to good guy, it was unbelievable.
Very nice. Arlie Ray speaks very highly of you in his book.
Yes.
He unfortunately passed away last year. Could you share any memory with us about Harley?
Yeah.
Maybe one or two?
Harley Race, very respected. Again, with Japan, the first time I met him, he was the Fungs, those champions, you know, him at the time, when he came in, you know, us young boys, I was one of the young boys then, you know, I found out later that Baba put me with him to go and pick up his bags, make sure that he's on time to the bus, what he wants and everything, you know.
Because he wasn't good with schedule?
No, that's the respect.
Ah, sorry.
Yeah, for the champion, I was there. But the rest of them, they have the guys, the other wrestlers, young ones, to call them and, you know, let them know, you know, we're living, that's the routine they have there, they had there. We're leaving at 4 o'clock, and you know, it's about 20 minutes before 4, you know, if you don't mind, start coming down. So, you know, and a lot of them been there so many times, so they know. But Harley Race, Baba wants me to start learning how to speak English, and he put me with Harley Race. The little that he knows, Harley Race smokes a lot, and he doesn't speak much. So, for example, Harley, you ready? And, you know, he's already down, you know, at the lobby because he's smoking. Okay, sir, you know.
We're going.
Come, please. You know, at the time, with my little English, you know, he was just smiling. And then later on, you know, because of that, I guess he, you know, likes me and everything. All of a sudden, I pop up here in America. But they know also that's where they send us and get us prepared for the future. And then they send back to Japan, and, you know, they do everything, you know, like we, at the time, they send a magazine, a person, or a newspaper, you know, person for a month, and write about us and send to Japan. That's how they build us in those days. And yes, you know, I have so much respect for him. And the other one is when WWF gave me the king, it was from him.
Oh, so that was true.
Yes.
He gave you his blessing to take over that gimmick.
To take over the gimmick.
Must have felt very good.
Oh yeah, I was grateful. Like I said, you know, so many things that, you know, I was blessed with. And I thank God every day for that.
That's good. You wrestled Hulk Hogan on an episode of Saturday Night's Main Event where you were King Haku. What was your memory of that match? And how was your relationship with Hogan over the years?
Hogan is a Floridian. And let me tell you, with WWF at the time, great champion, great person, Hogan. Because in this way, we had a meeting that McMahon then said, look, wherever you want to live, we'll fly you out. Just like that. And then, you know, everybody was there for this big meeting. It was the first time, I believe. And so Hogan got up, never forget that, and he looked, guys, just wanted to let you know. And he was right at the time, you know. Florida is a beautiful place. I was born there, I was raised there. Right now, the economy is good. It's time, you know, for you guys to buy a home there. It's cheap, and it's, you know, that you'll be able to. You know, you guys, up to you, whatever you want to do, but that, you know, I never forget that, you know.
Did you follow his lead? Did you buy a home? Yeah, you did, okay.
I still live in that house, you know. Yeah, and he was, you know, and that was the thing. The match, of course, you had to wrestle at the time with Hogan. He's the champion. That's the only one, that's the only time you're going to make some money, you know, wrestling the champion. Otherwise, No.
Was it one of your best payday?
Yes, of
It
course.
was?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Every time you wrestle him, it's one of the, beside being with the giant, and you wrestle with him. You continuously on TV. Those days where you're not on TV, you don't pay as much as everybody else. But it was great. Hogan is one of, and he loves his people from Florida. Christmas party,
Were you invited?
Invite of all of us, 2 or 3 Christmas in a row.
Still to this day or back
No,
then?
back then,
okay.
back then, yeah.
Do you have a relationship with him today?
That's one thing about the wrestlers. You don't call them, but once you see each other, it was just like yesterday. Then you just came, you're a little bit older, but we all love each other. There's something about the wrestlers. We maybe fight with each other, but once we see each other, at least that's me.
That's you probably. Arn Anderson has said you used to travel with him, and you are one of his favorite people in the wrestling business. Do you have any memories you could share with us about Arn? Is that Arn Anderson?
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, Arn is a great worker.
Okay.
Great mind for the business. 4 Horsemen. Those are the things. You have the list to go on and on. With Arn, and we used to travel together on the road and everything. And I just heard that he's one of the agents for AEW. So yeah.
Did well. The Barbarian has said on record you're one of his far tougher than him. You're far tougher than him. Do you think it's true, or he's just being modest?
Yeah, he's just being modest. Yeah. There are people, as we all know, the quiet people is the one we have to watch. We never know, you know what I'm saying? Because my father was like that. He reminds me of my father. He's quiet until, he's get mad, and then, see you.
Do you have any of his story of the Barbarian being tough, like acting off as a really tough, toughest?
Barbarian and I grew up in Tonga.
Did you knew each other back then?
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. And then we went to the same high school. Yeah. I wanted to tell this. He's a little bit older than me, but but he's look younger than me, you know what I'm saying? But, yes. And we went to sumo, represent our country.
Like the wrestling sumo? You practice doing that?
Yeah, that's how we left the island. That's why we're here, sitting in front of you, Laura, because of sumo. He was very, very strong. Barbarian was the balance in him was unbelievable. We were 6 of us, and of course the rest of the Japanese. I was pretty good, the youngest, but I was good in that way with the techniques and stuff like that. But when it's come, time to, even with the techniques, I have to, move him around, because you get that balance, he will, very, very strong.
You're technically part of the New Japan Wrestling Bullet Club. Faction that your son Tamatonga has been very successful with. You must be very proud.
Yes.
Yes. New Japan is now doing events in the United States more regularly. Is there any chance that you might be competing with them?
Well, I did twice already, with that. I was grateful for the ideas and stuff like that. San Francisco and now, of course, here. In the Madison Square Garden. With the Madison Square Garden one, I was very surprised, because in my mind, and from then, I can never say never. It's like that movie, with Sean Connery and the thing, never say never. Because I didn't know in a million years, didn't even think that, we are going to end up at the Madison Square Garden together. because they have their rules, they have their way, you know, and then of course with McMahon, you know, the way he runs things, he always, you know, stop everybody using what he's using, you know, arenas that the old days. But yes, very proud of Tamatonga and Tararoa, and the upcoming, you know, we have the youngest boy also, Higureo, is in England, you know, working his way up, you know, so yes, and also, you know, he's starting this thing out of that, you know, in mind that they were thinking about is called the party after, Bullet Club party after WrestleMania. And, you know, so far so good, you know. I love you know, to see that, the creative of things. And, you know, you go back, Lord, as you see, all these guys, Dwayne, it's not just wrestling, movies and all that stuff, you know, he's going into YouTube, all that stuff is unbelievable. And, you know, that's all I ask, for them to, you know, to be better than I do. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Are all your kids in wrestling? No.
Yes, except my daughter, the oldest.
You didn't want to do anything with that?
Well, you know, but our grandson is, his father is George Murdoch, you know, so, yeah, that's the part of her in wrestling, you know, is the son, you know, the one of the wrestlers there.
You're very happy of the New Japan US extension then? Extension. You think it's a good thing?
It's a great thing.
It's a great thing.
Because, like you guys here, for example, you know, imagine if you get big, that big, that you know what I'm saying? You're big now here, but you need to go out, for example. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's true.
Because this is what it is. I don't think about myself, just about myself and my family. That I thank God every day, you know, with the Samoan dynasty and all of us there. We appreciate these companies that are popping up, AEW, you know, all this, because it gives jobs, works for all these guys calling themselves wrestlers.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So that's my point, is it's good for all these people to be able to get a job, to go to work, you know, to get their dream come true.
It's true.
Right?
More opportunities.
More opportunities.
Kevin Sullivan has been one of your biggest supporters over the years and managed you in the Dungeon of Doom when you were in WCW. Any memories of working with Sullivan? Our fans love him. He's a big part of the Animal TV.
You know, the devil that we call, because he have ideas, and you know, with him at WCW being the booker and all that stuff, people, companies that still use him today with his way of visualing thing for now and the future. So yeah, you know, again, as being part of me that I have the Japanese, you know, I always respect these people, you know, kind of, all right, just tell me what I have to do and I'll do it the best I can. So, you know, yeah, we talk and all this stuff, we have meal and everything, but I never talk to him about the business. Okay. But I watch him and learn from what he's doing, and, you know, even today, he still call me up and, you know, see what's going on, and, you know, if I want to go somewhere, you know, he's booking, there's opportunity somewhere.
He's booking for New England, isn't he? Or is he doing something for England? No?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is, huh? He's involved.
Yeah, he's involved.
Yeah.
But that's him, you know, you never know where he's gonna pop out that, you know.
You're very close with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, you were, and bought you a truck several years ago as a gift. Could you tell us that story?
Yeah, every year I go up there to ask for autograph from what I do now. I'm working for these gentlemen, David Morris, since I left WWF, and he have a foundation. So every time, I go up there, just asking his mother to get me and I'll go up and pick up the autograph signing, So one time that year, I went up to pick it up, and she said, well, Dwayne wants to see you, since you're coming in, and he's in town. So I said, okay. We waited there, and then, all of a sudden he showed up, and just three of us, And then, he told me, you work in a dealership, Tonga? I said, yeah. Come on, take a look at this. We went out, there's the truck. He opened up and he said, what do you think? I said, the best thing for now, all this truck is good, that is big at the back also, that is comfortable, And, he walked around, and turned around and he said, well, it's yours. Me and his mother, we both stood there and like, what? Did we hit this right?
Drive quick.
Yeah.
That's a very nice gift.
Yes.
Dwayne's father, Rocky, passed away last month.
Yeah.
I understand you were also very close with him. Do you have any memories to share with us about Rocky?
Yes. Rocky was the one who reached out from the other side of in the dressing room. First time I met him, of course he already married Duata and they had Dwayne already. But that was the first time, me coming from Japan and, he just stand up and he said, Chief, that he called. And I look around, and he walked towards me. And, of course I got up, he said, Rocky Johnson, Soul Man, Rocky Johnson. Introduced myself, he said, yeah, I married, Hata, the Chief Peter Maivia's daughter. That was it. They took me in, and I really, really appreciate that because I was just a wild man, wild kid, really, at the time, 17, I think, or 18. Didn't know much about America and trying to make a living in the same time, And they took me in, like a little brother for both of them, And Ada, of course, didn't have a brother, so, I was the little one. And that was the whole thing there. We become family, and since then, and we're always,
That's good. Finally, you were honored at last year's Cauliflower Alley Club Awards ceremony with the Tag Team Award with the Faces of Fear. Do you have any favorite matches from that tag team?
The Faces of Fear? So many matches. Now, good question, but it's just, let me say this, all the matches were good, as I always say that, because we're going to work, and also whatever we can do, we have to do it. Sometimes you don't feel like it, but it's your job, and you have to do it in that way. Barbarian, it was always, I'm grateful that even today that we're here together as we are growing old, and I mean it from my heart, after all these years, that we still work together. But with all the, tag team, the Demolitions and, the Heat and all of them, we were grateful to work with them and still is that we're still the Faces of Fear. And, of course, last year we were honored, I look at it as, I thank you, but, I appreciate the recognition.